Hello, Sword of Allah. This is the Masked Analyst. First, before I begin the meat of my talk today, I'd like to compliment you on the way you have conducted yourself. You've comported yourself well. You've argued logically and reasonably your point of view. Now, as an atheist, obviously, I don't agree with you on a lot of things, but you have conducted yourself well, and Snow has chosen wisely in his decision on who should maintain his channel. Now, I'd like to address something that you've asked before, and others have asked, and that is, why are people like CaptainOAwesome and Fakesagan desecrating the Koran and showing really disrespect for everyone within the Muslim community? Should they be able to do this, and why are they doing this? Well, actually, it might be a little bit arrogant of me for trying to speak up for them. They are both quite capable of speaking up for themselves. So I hope that neither of them think that I'm trying to put words into their mouths. What I'll be doing is telling you my interpretation of why I suspect they're doing this, and why it is important to be able to do this. First, there seems to be a notion that you shouldn't insult someone else's religion. Well, there is no such thing, at least within America, and I agree with this. There's no such thing as freedom from insult. Now, some people say, well, how would you feel if someone took a picture of your mother and threw it into the toilet, or rubbed dog feces on it? Wouldn't that get you pissed? And the answer is, of course it would. I'd probably want to haul off and punch the guy. But there's a big difference here between smearing feces on the picture of a living person who's not in the public domain, and insulting a religion which is trying to shape the governments and events of the world. Now, if someone got a picture, first of all, if someone got a picture of my mother and threw it in the toilet, the first thing I'd wonder is where the hell they got the picture of my mother in the first place. She's not a public figure. She's not in the public domain. They don't have any right, well, they shouldn't be doing this sort of thing for someone who's just a private citizen minding their own business. That's one thing. Now, and I'd be mighty pissed at that. Now, if my mother was a public figure, say she was a senator or something like that, I'd still be angry, but I would understand it much more, since she's shaping policy that can influence people's lives. Then they do indeed have a legitimate reason to insult her. They have every right to. Sort of like burning the flag, the American flag. I despise people who do that sort of thing. It happens very rarely, and I despise them. But it's within their right to do so, even though it's an insult to many Americans, and especially those who have served their countries overseas and who've risked their lives for the country. As I see it, the flag represents the countries and the freedoms which it stands for. And there have been a number of times where the right to burn a flag has been in jeopardy. But if you take away that right, in a way it's kind of ironic. It is taking the flag is symbolic of free speech, and to take away the right to desecrate the flag is sort of ironic in that it's taking away some of the free speech that the flag itself is symbolic of. But there is no right to freedom of insult with the flag, and the same should be for religion. Now let me give you another reason. Suppose that there was such a freedom from being insulted. Well, gays would probably say that the Islamic religion is an insult to them because it condemns homosexuality. If there was a freedom of insult, then probably the first casualty within this country would be the right to worship in the Islamic religion. Now, there's another reason why I say this. It's only a short step between the position of saying you cannot insult a religion to saying you cannot mock a religion. And it's only another short step from saying you cannot mock a religion to you cannot criticize a religion. It's kind of a slippery slope. And where exactly do you draw the line? It's better to have broad leeway, and then people won't censor themselves. And if they go overboard, then people will just consider those who go too far as jerks. Now, let's suppose that there's something special about religion, and that we decide that religion should be protected from insult and mockery. Well, then the next question is, what exactly is a religion? Where does a cult leave off and a religion begin? Let's look at Scientology for an example. I'm going to be putting some links in the sidebar where you can read more about Scientology. Now, Scientology was founded by L. Ron Hubbard, who was a science fiction writer who once said, writing for a penny a word is ridiculous. If a man really wants to make $1 million, the best way would be to start his own religion. Now, Scientology has some rather, let's say, unorthodox beliefs. Some of them are downright kooky. Now, some of the stranger beliefs, the average person isn't going to find out about it. In fact, a person who joins Scientology isn't going to find out about it until he works his way up the ladder of Scientology, taking many courses and spending tens of thousands of dollars. And after he spends his tens of thousands of dollars, he gets to find out that at the core of their belief system or their religion is the theory that 76 million years ago there was an evil galactic warlord named Xenu. And Xenu was worried about the population problem in his galaxy. So he gathered up millions or billions of aliens, transported them to Earth, dumped them into volcanoes, hit those volcanoes and those people with nuclear weapons, and vaporized their bodies. Their souls, or I think as he called them, their thetans, escaped. He captured their thetans and reprogrammed them, and then the thetans ended up binding to people's bodies, and that's why people are so messed up. That's why people can't work efficiently. So people won't discover this until after they spent tens of thousands of dollars in their system. Now the question is this a scam or is this a religion? I'll let you make your own decision about that. A couple of years ago, South Park did a cartoon lampooning, mocking Scientology, and it was quite vicious, but really quite funny. And there'll be a link in the sidebar to that as well. So my question is, if one makes a rule that you cannot mock or insult religion, then should something like South Park, their cartoon, be illegal? I would find this unacceptable. In fact, once you set up that sort of rule, then, as I said before, it's only a short step between saying you can't mock a religion to saying you can't criticize a religion. And it becomes much easier to sue someone for exposing a fraud. All one has to do is dress up a fraud as a religion, and it gains a little bit of extra protection. I would find this unacceptable. In fact, one could even make the argument that mockery separates the strong religions from the weak. It would separate those religions that have at least some sort of internal logic, some sort of consistency, some sort of evidence to back it up, from those that are nothing more than vapor, that don't have anything behind them. So if anything, the right to mock a religion could help the stronger religions. So in this video I've discussed why one should have the right to mock a religion and to insult a religion. Now it's a big step to go from one should have the right to mock a religion to saying that it is the right thing to do. It's quite a jump from taking the position I have taken in this video to saying that Fakesagan and CaptainOAwesome are justified in their actions. I'll take a little closer look at their actions in the next video. This has been the Masked Analyst, under and in.